Hi, fellow students, and welcome back to Straight Talk in Room 503. I am Marsh Merriweather, your host of Straight Talk in Room 503, and also the author of Enough is Enough. Public education has spiraled out of control. Ladies and gentlemen, this week, I want you to close your textbook. I want to just lecture just a few minutes with you and tell you some things about public education. Let me first say that 90% of the people or more who are looking at this video are products of public education. Private schools have not been around for umpteen years. It's something new. But ladies and gentlemen, there were some people thinking, while we was asleep, how can I make sure that my child has a more quality of an education than the other students, so therefore they get the best jobs, they get the best recognition. So some people have been at this a while some of us have been asleep at the wheel. I have a lot of notes here. I just jotted down some things, and I hope you'll let me ramble a little bit this week because I got some things I just need to tell you about public education. I trust that you believe that I'm telling the truth. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, public education is getting worse by the days. We have some of the best teachers, administrators, board members, staff members, custodians. We got some people who are interested in children, but we got some bad apples. You know, one bad apple can ruin the whole bunch. Well, we got a whole bunch of bad apples that we need to throw out, but we continue to let them stay in the bushel with the others, and it's getting worse. Ladies and gentlemen, public education been spiraling out of control for a long time, and we've been sleeping. We've been allowing it to happen. I hope that you'll join my fight as we try to reverse things and bring public education back where it should be and never should have been. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. A friend of mine in Shelby County just told me just a few days ago that over in Shelby County in one of the high schools, that is just totally out of control. The students are fighting not only each other, they're beginning to fight the teachers and the principals. And he said to me, I don't know how things are going to turn out. And my reply to him is this: let me tell you this. The failure of public education will have the same effect as global warming on America if we don't get up and do something about it. I just was noticing today, the first day of spring. Tonight, we're going to have a freeze warning. They ask you to get your plants in if you want to try to save them. Then, before I can get out of the car, when I came in today, it started to snowing, the first day of spring, just snowing. It's a sign that God is in control. He always has been and always will be. And he's also looking at public education. And he's wondering why my people are not doing anything. He said that my people call by my name, if they will humble themselves, seek my face, then and only then will I heal the land. Our land is sick. Public education is sick. The people who are trying to steer kids away because of nationality, that's crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Everything that God made was good. Everything was right and perfect until man touched it. So, ladies and gentlemen, my heart goes out to this gentleman. As I told him, things are not going to get any better until we begin to do something different. You know, I thought also this week about teachers. There are good teachers and there are bad teachers. A good teacher knows that students capture learning by capturing the head and the heart. You realize that students you have to get their head right, and you have to also their hearts. And so you have to reach out. When students know that the teacher loves them, they perform better. Come on now. If you had a spouse and you didn't think your spouse loved you, you wouldn't stay with them. If you had coworkers that you knew didn't care about you, you wouldn't assist them and work with them. It's the same in public education. When students learn that Miss Johnson doesn't particularly care for me, She's showing me. She thinks she's better than me. She's not working with me like she's working with Miss Bethany's daughter. They see all of this, and now they have turned to violence. Our schools are filled with violence. Students are afraid to go to school. Teachers are afraid to show up. We're out of control. You have wonderful people who don't know what to do with public education. Now it's out of control. How do we get it back in? They have no earthly idea. Some of our best teachers have retired and gone on. We're now filling our schools with youngsters who are coming out of college that have no earthly idea of what lies ahead. They just need a job. And ladies and gentlemen, as long as teaching is just a job, things are going to continue to deteriorate. We had teachers who cared about us. They would say things, if you don't do this, I'm going to tell your parents. Now, if you tell the parents come to school, cuss you out, jump on you. But we have got to turn this thing around and let every child know that they're important. Listen to me. There was a little eaglet that was flying around and fell into the barnyard amongst the chickens. And he noticed that the chickens was plucking for corn. So he started to plucking for corn. The chickens looked at him and say, "Who are you? What are you?" He said, "I'm a chicken." They said, no, you're not a chicken. You an eagle. No, I'm a chicken. So he just started to plucking corn. If we don't let our students know that they're eagles, well, he kept on plucking. And one day he looked up and he noticed a shadow. And it was an eagle flying around in the sky. Ladies and gentlemen, eagles are one of the only species of birds that can fly directly into the sun. But this little eagle kept on plucking corn. Finally, the chicken was able to convince him that you're an eagle. See, you can fly, try it. The little eaglet would run and take up, drop to the ground. Run and take up, and finally the eagle says, "No, I'm a chicken." But he noticed that eagle that looks a little bit like me. See, teachers can say, if Bethany can do the work, if Johnny can do the work, you got 5 senses, you can too. You got to instill them and motivate them. The teachers have lost their zeal. The students have lost their zeal in public education. That's what happened in private schools, that they are told you can be senators, lawyers, doctors. You can come over here. We have to pay a little bit more, but you better get that work. Stay to the grind. Stay focused. We're not encouraging our students to stay focused. We need to rid ourselves of those teachers who are not doing their job. It's not fair. It's not fair for some teachers to work their hearts out. And just down the hall, Miss Lazy Sarah, she's not doing anything. She's just making the day. But this eagle took to the sky one day and began to soar the sky. And he says, I'm an eagle. Never returned to the barnyard. Well, by the same token, if we encourage students and tell them, you're champions, you're scholars, you can be anything you want to be, then we will fill this nation with people who are inspired to be anything they wanted to be. But we have lost our zeal. We've let some bad people, some good old boys and good old girls, pull us down and hurt the whole nation all over this country. Public education has spiraled out of control. Ladies and gentlemen, I just wonder if it's kind of like this lady who had a singing bird. She let him out of the cage one day, and the bird was flying around, and she got out of vacuum and decided she was going to vacuum the house. The bird flew behind the sofa. The lady was so busy vacuuming that she didn't pay any attention, and she sucked up the bird. The bird could sing. Oh, beautiful voice. Bird could just sing. But then when she turned the vacuum off, she went to looking for a parrot. Where's my bird? Where's my bird? She couldn't find him. She just didn't know what to do. Then she said, well, maybe I sucked him up when I was vacuuming. She opened the vacuum cleaner, and there was a little bird all dusty and dirty. She got him out and she cleaned him up, and she put him back in his cage, and she noticed that he just looked at her. The bird was probably saying, what happened? What's wrong with you? But she noticed one thing, that the bird didn't sing anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that what has happened is that we have done some terrible things and our students are not progressing like they used to. We have taken the song from them. That bird perhaps will never sing again. He's shocked. He's in shock. Our students in public education in shock. Miss Johnson used to care for us. She doesn't care anymore. My principal doesn't seem to greet us in the morning like they used to. The superintendent very seldom comes over. We never see the board members until it's time for budget. Students are not stupid. They see all of this stuff that we're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, I wonder, what in the world are we going to do? Look at this. Look at this right here. The media, as of today's date, the 24th of March, has spent $1.8 million. The media has spent $1.8 million on the election so far. Can you imagine? Can you just begin to imagine what $1.8 million would do if we were reinvested back into public education? Look at this. For Easter, which is next Sunday, we're going to spend, the nation is going to spend $173 billion on Easter eggs, little Easter bunnies and stuff. That has nothing to do with Christ dying on the cross for us. But our minds have been so messed up by the devil that we're having little Easter egg hunts for the kids, and we're buying the little outfit for them, and we're not telling them the true meaning of Easter. I bought you something new for you. Oh, isn't this cute? Oh, she looks so cute. We're missing it. These are the same fragmented kids who are in our school system, misguided. Parents not doing their place. Yes, I hear you telling me that parents are the reason for this. Not true. We all have to shoulder the responsibility that we have failed to do what we need to do as educators, as teachers, as principals, as lay people, as pastors, as committee people. We all have to share in this failure of public education. But I refuse to be one of those people. I'm going to come to you week after week. I'm going to encourage you to do what you can do. Don't worry about what the others are doing. You make a call. You go to some board members. You go to the school. You volunteer. You do some things. Ladies and gentlemen, I just wondered as I come to the close of this session, if we had an autopsy done on public education, what would we find during the autopsy? I believe that we would find some bad administrators and some good administrators, some bad teachers and some good teachers, some bad board members and some good board members, some bad administrators, but some good ones, bad staff members, but some good ones. We will find people who are trying to make a profit off of public education. We find so-called Christian people who are not willing to go out in the byways and tell people about Christ and try to do what they can to save this generation of children and make sure that everybody get a quality education. I believe that we'll find pastors and ministers who have not done their job. I will find clubs and organizations, sorority, motherboards, who have not done their job to make sure all children receive a quality education. Ladies and gentlemen, I will find lazy people who each week sit and listen to my video and say nothing, do nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, God is not pleased. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as I come to the end of this session, I hope that you have enjoyed this lecture and that you're willing to do something with what you heard. But if you're willing to do nothing, oh my, have mercy on you. But ladies and gentlemen, I am Morris Merriweather, the host of Straight Talk in room 503 and the author of Enough is Enough. If you have not got a chance to get a copy of my book, please do so. You may go to www.morrismerriweather.com and pick up my book. Each week I should come to you on Facebook as well as YouTube. But you must come to the realization public education has spiraled out of control and you need to do something. Till next week, I am your host. Take care, ladies and gentlemen, and remember that God loves you and so do I. but you must do something to improve public education. Take care now. We'll see you next week right back here again. I'll see you then.